maybe you heard that. This meeting is being recorded. This session is being recorded so that we can use it in our marketing. RTPfit can use it in their marketing. We can discover how much lag and latency there is in the recording. So if there is lag and latency in the audio today, perhaps there will not be in the recording, and we can go back and listen to it later. So it will be available perhaps in a newsletter. And then I also can use recordings in order to improve upon my delivery. So there's lots of ways that we can use this. So thank you all for being here for our session under the trees and the hammocks, and from wherever it is that you're calling in from. Deep bow. And deep bow to Amanda and her team from Frontier RTP for bringing this meditation program and really all their programming for us each and every day of the week, free to the public. So thank you. So this is our hybrid offering. If you can join us in the hammocks, it's beautiful. There's something about being outdoors and meditating that heightens our ability to stay present. But you also can bring that same presence no matter where you are, just by taking a deep breath in and releasing. Some of you I know, and some of you I'm meeting for the first time. My name is Haven E. Carter, and I'm a meditation teacher and student. Today our focus is taming the monkey mind. And a teacher called Tenzin Palmo said, distraction is the main problem for us all. What Buddha called monkey mind. And we want to tame this monkey mind. And how do we tame it? So I'm going to do a little bit of teaching, and then we're going to go into the meditation. If you want to close your eyes now, that's great. But how do we tame this monkey mind? It's so easy, right? Not really. And with practice, it does get easier. You know, we name our thoughts. Maybe hold them a little more lightly. And also not believing them so much. But what's our tendency? What's our tendency is to hold our beliefs really tight. You know, they're ours, they must be true. But what would happen if we held our thoughts lightly with some tenderness, with some compassion? And what if we remembered to just think about what our thoughts are, try to understand them without judgment, and instead of holding them tightly, which is all a part of our conditioning. You know, our conditioning is to grasp and hold on to our thoughts as if they're true and they're right. But imagine the spaciousness and the freedom if we were just to hold them lightly. Hold them like precious robin's eggs, and see them for what they are. See them for the thoughts that come and go without meaning, these fleeting thoughts. What if we didn't believe them? How liberating it would be to know that you don't have to believe your thoughts. So there are really 3 levels of awareness of thought, 3 levels of awareness of the mind, and mindfulness in what we call loving awareness or consciousness. First is the content. You know, what are we thinking? What are the thoughts? Next is the patterns, the process. What are my habits and tendencies? And then third is the knowingness. You know, knowing that we're thinking when we're thinking. Just knowing that this is the way the mind works. You know, Our mind secretes thoughts in the same way that our heart pumps blood. So being really tender with ourselves as we go through these three. The first, to notice the content and name our thoughts, like planning, worrying, self-grandializing, judging, creating. And then we can shift from naming into, from this content to the process. And we begin to notice, as we name our thoughts that they dissolve into, they just dissipate. They're like clouds in the sunlight. But we then start to notice that there's a pattern to the way we think. There's patterns, habits. Maybe you know this is true for you. We start to see and notice that our thoughts aren't real, right? That they come and they go, they exist for a time, they pass away. That they are like the clouds in the sky. They come across the sky and then they float away. They're like the weather, it changes. And then lastly, we can shift our attention to become aware of the fact that we're observing our thoughts, that we're aware that we're thinking. And this is when we really shift. We shift from the content to seeing the process to becoming the observer, the awareness that's the witness of it all. This is when we get quiet. And when we quiet the thoughts, we start to live in our heart rather than our mind. What freedom to live in our hearts. So we begin with a deep bow to our mind and to our thoughts. Coming to our practice with the beginner's mind, that natural curiosity, the childlike awe and wonder. Taking a moment, if you're not already in a dignified position with your spine in alignment. No matter whether you're lying down or standing or sitting. Allowing your eyes to soften and close if they're not already. Settling in. Taking 2 or 3 breaths that are a bit deeper. Helping you to sense this place in your body where you feel your breath the most. Whether that's your belly, your chest, the back of your throat, your nostrils. This is your anchor. I invite you to allow the breath to be just as it is. Let go of your control of the breath, not manipulating it in any way. Just trusting. Trusting the abundant wisdom of your body to breathe just right. Now bringing your attention to your mind, noticing as best you can what your mind is doing. Are you thinking? And what are you thinking? And if you're thinking, are you holding that thought tightly or lightly? And can you imagine just letting that thought go? And now allowing yourself to think, just for now, what comes up. And naming whatever comes up. Is it a thought about planning, remembering, creating, worrying? And if you'd like, you can just simplify it and name your thoughts as kind or unkind, quiet or loud. Or you can even just say, quiet mind, kind mind, unkind mind, loud mind. Not to judge, just to be with what is in this moment. And then notice as you name your thoughts or your mind, planning, remembering, or kind mind, quiet mind, loud mind. Are your thoughts shifting? And as you continue to notice and name your thoughts, is there anything happening in your body? Any bodily sensations arising? Warmth or coolness, pressure, tingling, vibrations, nothing? Just as best you can, be with whatever's occurring in your body. And if at any time anything becomes overwhelming, too much, you can always return to your anchor. You can always return to your breath in that place where you connect to it most easily. Your belly, your chest, back of your throat, your nostrils. You can even connect more deeply. You can ground by connecting to your breath and sensing into your feet and your hands and your belly. And then reconnect with your thoughts. Maybe picking something a little less triggering. And then moving away from connecting with the sensations in the body, and as you notice and name your thoughts, remembering, creating, planning, or kind or unkind, quiet or loud, just notice if any emotions are coming up. Just notice if any emotions are attached to these thoughts. Frustration, joy, sadness, glee, confusion, nothing. As best you can, just see if you can sit with this. And we bow to our thoughts, for they are our teachers. And did you notice any patterns? Did you notice any patterns in your thoughts? If not, maybe recall a sticky thought, a thought that occurs to you like a broken record. As best you can, just be your best witness to your own habits of patterns. And see how your thoughts and your patterns are like clouds, changing, shifting, unreal. Can you see how your thoughts are not real? How the more we lean in, the less real our thoughts become. And as the witness, resting in your loving awareness, this consciousness that you are not your thoughts. Resting in this loving awareness, your consciousness that you are not your thoughts. You are free. You are free from your thoughts. You can breathe in and out, resting in your heart, resting in your heart. We'll rest in our hearts for the next few moments, several minutes in silence, in honor of the last 9 minutes of the life of George Floyd, who died on this day a year ago. Breathing the breath that he no longer breathes. Honoring the lives of all of those who no longer breathe with our breath. Resting in your loving awareness, resting in your breath, resting in your heart. Breathing in and out. Taking 2 or 3 deeper breaths to bring yourself back. Breathing in and out. Resting in your heart. Breathing in and out. Thank you all. I hope you all will join us again, whether you're in the Zoom room or here in the hammocks. We'll be focusing on slow down to speed up. It may sound counterintuitive, and yet it's true. When we can actually slow down, we can gain clarity, get clear on our priorities, and move a lot faster. Honor yourself today in the way that you honor yourself. Namaste. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Kristen, Rosalind, Lauren, Leslie, Anne, Amanda.